Hello, welcome to the Honest Wargamer. I'm your host, Rob. In this exciting video, I'm going to talk about the fact that we're getting Darkoath releases in a upcoming Dawnbringers book, and also the fact that there's a new Dawnbringers book. But in addition, there's also leaks for even more Darkoath stuff in the future. So the first part of the video is going to be talking about what has been publicly shown, and the second half is going to be showing you off miniatures from a leaked video, which is going to show more Chaos units in the future. So if you don't want to see any leaks, obviously don't look at that part of the video. Right, let's dive straight in. And we've seen a community post from Games Workshop talking about the upcoming pre-orders, and we're going to get the Dawnbringers Book 5. Importantly, there's obviously been 4 Dawnbringers books before. We don't know if this is going to be Dawnbringers Book 5, the last book, or if there's going to be a Book 6. Book 6 is probably definitely likely because that's going to feature all of the Darkoath models we're going to talk about in a minute. So I think Book 6 will be Chaos, which means this Book 5 is going to be about the Shadow of the Crone. And honestly, it feels really weak. I'm not someone who likes to make like negative stuff. Just being honest, some of the books have already been pretty slender, both narratively and rules-wise. This one feels very, very thin on the ground. We'll talk about what's going to be in it. Both halves of the twin-tailed crusade have battled through unimaginable horrors. Harrowed by Unbroken, they now begin the hard task of founding new settlements in Ashgra Garan, yet as they labour to complete their task, a terrible conspiracy threatens to engulf Hammerhall Ashgra. Luckily, Hanover Toll and his companions Arm and Callis are on the case, and the mysterious Croneseer lends them assistance from the shadows. So, not a massive undertaking as a book anyway. Not lots happening there, just a little bit of political intrigue. In Book 5, any of you who are long-time fantasy readers will know that Book 5 and 6 is where some people really struggle. Robert Jordan. Anyway, this book features rules for Crethus Croneseer plus Callis and Toll and their ragtag band of allies, alongside a new army of renown, a new regiment of renown, and we know that the regiment of renown is going to be the Saviors of Cinderfall. And then a Sigmar Path to Glory battle pack, which no one cares about, and the Strong Point Assault rules for team-based match play. So, really limited. A singular army of renown, which is most likely going to be Daughters of Cain, underneath the Krenther of the Croneseer. So that will be the army of renown. And then one singular regiment of renown, which is tied to this box. So, not really that much that's that exciting. The most exciting thing probably is going to be the team-based match play rules, which I think could be really fun. So I'm excited to see what that looks like. We're also, though, however, so like, I don't want to be down on the book, but I'm being honest, it's going to be a £20 to £30 book. The rules are only going to exist until Age of Sigmar 4 is released, and it doesn't look like it's going to have a ton of narrative anyway. So I would really be interested in what you think about it. Chat have already had their opinion, so I'm interested to know what you all think about it as well. However, they are releasing what is an amazing warband here, the Saviors of Cinderfall, which look really great. This is Callis and Toll in here as well, as long as the Thief Lyasa, Mistress Varentia, the Weaver of Whispers, and they're all great. Even the little Gryph-hound has got his own name, Balthus, which I think is good. It's a great kit, especially if you want to buy a bunch of character models that you could use in other armies. Obviously, you use them as their own warband themselves. If you're looking to play Old World, there's a bunch of really great kits here for that as well, which I think is fun. It's just a great box of heroes, which I think is really cool. So that's kind of, what we know is coming out because Games Workshop have released it. However, we know that Book 6 of the Dawnbringers is going to be about the Darkoath stuff. And the reason is because we have had this leaked video, and I'll include a link to it in the show notes for everyone. So we'll look through here. You can go watch it yourselves. But there's a kind of narrative intro for this. And then as we skip through, we start to see some actual new Chaos minis. So we're pretty certain that we're going to see Chaos Marauders completely replaced, Chaos Marauder Horsemen, Chaos Marauders, Chaos Spawn, most likely going out the window as well, which I think is great. And the minis look fantastic. Whatever I say about the books and the quality of the books and the money that you might have to spend on these books, I think there's no arguing that these minis are absolutely fantastic, and I'm very, very keen. So there's a bunch of different sculpts here. It's very cool. We've got a bunch of lady barbarians, a bunch of, well, Darkoath, sorry, I should say. And then a bunch of just really fantastic sculpts. Again, not heavily armored Chaos Warriors. They look so much better than the current Chaos Marauders. It's kind of hilarious how much better they look. Like, the other stuff looks just so good. Again, if you're a fan of the old world, you could use these as Chaos Marauders in there as well. I do have a point to make about the Chaos Marauders generally and lighter units in Age of Sigmar, but I'll make that at the end of the video. But as we look through, you can see some lady Chaos Darkoath as well. They look really great. And then we get into some really interesting stuff as we move forward. We get our Chaos Marauder, looks like a Chaos Lord or some sort of Chaos Marauder chief on a horse, which is very cool. There's a banner bearer as well. And then as we go through, there's a couple of different versions. And as we get deeper into it, we see more Chaos Marauder horsemen, where you get this kind of epic banner lady, and then you see the big gang of them all together, which looks really great. These look really excellent. Actually, literally halfway through recording this video, they have posted the entire set of miniatures on Warhammer Community. So now it's not a leak, it's just some cool stuff. So let's look at it now. The Darkoath army set meet the dark mirror of the cities of Sigmar. That really makes a statement as to what they're trying to put out, which I think is fun. Shout out to the intern at Games Workshop HQ watching the show so I can make this video properly. So what we've got, we meet Brand's Oathbound, a fearsome band of fur-clad warriors sworn to resist the pious weaklings of the perfidious lightning god. But mighty as they are, the heroes are but the vanguard for the Darkoath tribes. But now who muster in great throngs as the Sigmarite crowds quail behind their crumbling city walls. I mean, they're not crumbling. It's truly a host. This huge launch box contains 27 miniatures, a battle tome supplement, 4 war scroll cards, and all the tokens needed. Okay, so a battle tome supplement. So this is a second time we've got this. We got this with the Iron Jewels as well. Just initially, off the bat, because I haven't had time to kind of look at this first, I'm doing this reaction live. Absolutely love the artwork on the front of this book. The Darkoath army set. Love the artwork. It's great. Really dark. It doesn't try to be Dark Soulsy or, Elden Ring. It bees its own thing. Also doesn't try too hard to rip off Frank Frazetta as much as, Games Workshop do rip off Frank Frazetta as well. So really good box, like the art at least. Okay, so what's in the box? We've got the Darkoath Chieftain on Warsteed. Okay, as a mini, it's time to smash or pass as a review rating, Twitch chat, and also if you're watching this as a YouTube video, let me know. Smash or pass on the Darkoath Chieftain. I'm going to go for smash. I think he looks really good, really solid. Rocking on a very on-trend off-the-shoulder fur coat, all the better to flex his pet. Oh, I hate how they write these articles. It's a Darkoath Chieftain, an avid collector of the mouldering heads. This guy is as good at fighting as he is ignoring the small, decaying flesh. He's a grim reflection of the Free-Girl Cavalier Marshal, who's clearly too puny to end a battle with both shoulder pads draped in armor. I can't believe an adult wrote that. The Chieftain has numerous options. He comes with 3 heads. 3 head options is cool. Plus 2 for his steed and a choice of sword or axe. Whatever headgear you choose, a magnificent mane of hair cascades. Okay. All right. I'm going to be careful about how much I read. Okay, 3 head options is a fun thing, and the different weapons is great. The horse is good. I like the horse. I agree with you 100%. Pass on him, smashed on the horse. Interesting. Is the horse the same as the Nurgle guy? It's the same sort of pose as the Nurgle guy, definitely. Okay, so this has been the guy that's been everyone excited. The Wilder Fiend here. The all-pervasive allure of chaos is too strong for some Darkoath heroes to resist. The Wilder Fiend is what becomes to a powerful mortal champion whose ambitions outstrip their abilities. They earn the enmity of their dark patrons for breaking one of their oaths and were changed forever as a result. Okay, smash or pass on this. I'm going to go for smash. I think it's very good. Interesting, it's not a Chaos Spawn. I thought it would be a Chaos Spawn. But it seems to be something like... they specifically not described it as a spawn. Maybe originally sculpted as a spawn. But it's interesting that this seems to have gone down like that Wendigo route from the warband that we saw featured at the weekend as well. Very, very interesting. Each tribe is watched over by their Wilder Fiends, they once called kin. Oh, so they're kind of relating it to tribes. This is cool. They are both monstrous and sentinels who must be satisfied with the sacrifices and trophies. Perhaps their greatest shame, however, is that their once lustrous locks have been shorn forever by the cruelest of transfiguration. Okay, again, please stop writing those things. This is a great mini. Great mini. Interesting they go down the Wendigo vibe as well. Have they definitely described these guys as chaos? But might as they are the heroes of the vanguard of the Darkoath tribes. So interestingly, this is not... Darkoath doesn't necessarily mean chaos. So if you've kept up with the Age of Sigmar lore, the important part is that you have chaos, and obviously everyone committed to chaos, and you get a lot of that for... so it doesn't mention chaos. So you get a lot of humans that dedicate themselves to chaos, and therefore you'll end up with like all the Warcry warbands that you'll see. However, there are humans in the wilds of the realms that aren't dedicated to the god Sigmar, so they're not like, in that tribe, or faction, and instead these are the peoples of the wilds. So they're not necessarily chaos, and instead are more, natural and at one with, like, not at one with nature like you would see with Sylvaneth quite, but more kind of like a creature of the wilds. The Darkoath follow Chaos Undivided, apparently. Okay, that's quite interesting. I think there's room because they've gone down this like Wendigo style route. I think there's room for you to build an army or kit bash an army that is not necessarily dedicated to a Chaos god. Yeah, in Sigmar terms, they're sometimes known as the Reclaimed. So when Sigmar lands in a nuke, getting some real lore deep dive, Sigmar are right people. So the humans, for instance, or even Stormcast, they take over an area. They'll reclaim the humans of the local region, and they'll be known as the Reclaimed, which is kind of interesting as well. Okay, anyway, there's a different head option, which I think is really fun as well. Quite fun. And then we got these Darkoath Marauders, and they're just great sculpts. So fun. Really good. I like the old man there with the spear. Oh, the lady with the banner is excellent. She's great. Okay, just excellent. Just excellent sculpts. Really fun. Really good. I think really, really good. And it's nice to see these hot off the Cities of Sigmar kind of release as well. So you've got this, this nice different change. Below the mighty heroes and monstrous failures of the Darkoath tribes are a bevy of fearsome mortals jockeying for glory and fighting for their families. These are the marauders, muscle-bound men and women with salon quality hair. Oh, God. Let the Free Guild Steel Helms keep their stuffy jerkins and breastplates. The Darkoath work for these gains. And they're going to show them off. Who do they think they're writing I'm going to stop reading. Okay. There's Darkoath Fell Riders. So this is, our Marauder Horseman equivalent. And again, these are just stunning. Absolutely stunning minis. Really good. The horses are excellent, which is, nice and rare. They've got these fun, like, mouthpieces they put on the front of the horse. That's very cool as well. And then we have a Battletome supplement, Darkoath. 28-page supplement, expands upon the existing Darkoath options and includes 4 new war scrolls for the army box, the lore of the Darkoath, and plenty of brilliant art and photography. The Darkoath follows Chaos Undivided and may be included in your existing Slaves to Darkness armies. What's interesting then is when will we end up with... what will we end up with in book 6 of Dawnbringers? That's very... Looks like Chaos Dothraki. It's a great take. The set also contains the same 4 War Scroll cards and set of tokens. All 3 of these items are only available in this set, but the Battletome supplement will be available as a free PDF download shortly after launch. Okay. Interesting. Combining this set with the existing Darkoath, they had every opportunity to rename the Darkoath Savages, and they decided not to take it. The Gnarlspit Pack, the Darkoath Chieftain, Darkoath War Queen. Okay, so there is a entire army. This is so interesting. This actually breeds loads of questions. What is going to happen with the Darkoath themselves? Are they going to be integrated in Chaos wholesale? Or are we going to see Darkoath be very different to Chaos and kind of slaves to darkness, and they're not going to be all amalgamated into one? That's honestly a super interesting kind of place to go. Is it going to be a brand new faction in Age of Sigmar 4 that's going to be separate? But then if they're separate, then why are, Uruks, combined together? That's kind of wild as well. Are we going to be eventually going down like a a Cities of Sigmar, but a Cities of Chaos route, where it's going to be like the tribes of chaos, or the, you know, the Darkoath kind of tribes. I think that's going to be interesting as well. Like, yeah, like the Cities of Sigmar, but chaos. That actually makes loads of questions pop up. And after those questions, you then start to say, okay, another battle tome supplement. So then when are they going to get integrated into a main army? What's going to happen with Age of Sigmar 4? Are we going to get these wholesale kind of like, you know, edition change? Where are we going to get indexes? Or are these going to all carry over for a while? This feels odd. Like the Iron Jaws Battle Tome supplement that was a free PDF felt odd. And now this feels like an additional odd addendum, which I haven't really seen. We haven't seen previously, and they don't do the same thing in 40k. So I honestly don't know where we're going with this. And this is, honestly, I would love to know what you think. I do have one follow-up, though. One follow-up, which, like, is kind of, I don't want to end it on a downer. So, but I would like to say that one of the things I love about this release is I love how good Marauder Horsemen are. And I've been saying this loads about Age of Sigmar recently, but it's just something I'm always going to say. What I hate is that these probably have a wound each. They're a 5-up armor save, maybe even a 6-up armor save, and they'll be very cheap. They'll be like 110 points or something. Now, that might not be the case, but probably is something similar to the case. And what I don't like is I don't like them making stunning models that have no rules, if that makes sense. I don't like it when they make something that's this detailed and this cool and this wicked and it's really evocative in game, but is going to be probably just a chaff unit. Because why would I want to buy and paint chaff units? It's part of a larger video I'd like to make in the future, but the video is effectively units should be more expensive because they should do more stuff. I'm not talking about money-wise, I'm talking about points-wise, right? Why are you going to spend... And also, if they're cheap, that means also I have to buy more. You know, if they're like a cheap 110-point unit and I want 3 units, like versus if they're like 250 points, they do a lot of stuff. I know that sounds odd. How do you make elite units? There's a whole conversation there. But I wanted to just point out the fact that in the future, I'd like to talk about that in a video. Because I think that's something we all should discuss. Anyway, let me know what you think. Really exciting day for Chaos fans. Exciting day for all Age of Sigmar fans. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks to everyone on the Wargamer Patreon. Couldn't make it without you. You're all the best. See you soon.